Alright, my name's Anthony, and this is a video about the first time that I did or I smoked or tried K2, which, K2, legal marijuana was. Um, this is my story about my first time trying it and what it was like and why you should never do it again. Uh, first time I, the first time I did K, um, I was at my friend's bonfire party, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and we were like, we were at the mall, and we were like, oh, let's go to this bonfire, because my friend was throwing a bonfire. I was like, all right, let's go, and we drove there with my friend Dylan, I think. We were there, we were just hanging out, and then we were like, at this time, I only smoked bud twice in my life. I never did K, and I always thought, K, how bad could K be? I didn't know anything about it, and I was at the party and I was all chilling, and then my friends came, my own friends, my friend John and Alex, and Alex has a lot of drugs all the time, all the drugs, and uh, I was there, and he was like, "You want to go smoke some bud?" I was like, I don't know. I'm at a party, I have to go home soon. I really don't want to be fucked up. He's like, oh, but it'll be fine. It'll be quick. He's like, it'll be over before you get back. I'm like, I have to go home in 2 hours. He's like, that'll be fine. It's like, that's more than enough time. I'm like, all right, why not? My girlfriend was like, oh no, Anthony, please don't do anything stupid. Don't smoke anything. Don't do anything wrong. I'm like, I'm not, and I so fucking did. Uh, I went I went into John's car. We drove around the block, and we stopped, and he pulled out, and we had to pay because supposedly it was hard to get. So we paid $1 for every hit. We paid $1, and he pulled out this little, I'd say a blunt, maybe that big. I It looked like he already smoked it. He just out it. Uh, I remember he pulled it out. I gave him my $2 because I won 2 hits, and he was like, "This isn't bud." I said, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "This is K." I said, "I never did K before," and I did hear stories about it though. Like, it kills you. It can stop your heart, and it can cause bad problems to your visuals and shit. And I was like that. That sounds like I'm like, I don't want to do that. He's like, "It's not that bad," and he smoked it. And he was like, "See, it's not that bad." He's like, "The effects are instant and they wear off in like 15 minutes." I'm like, okay, why not? So I paid him my $2. My friend Tony was with me at the time. He was next to me. He paid $3. So we're in John's car, and uh, I pay him money, and we get out and we smoke it. My friend Tony takes his 3 hits. He's like, all right, Anthony, it's your turn. You go. And I took it, and I was about to smoke it, and I second thought it. I was just like, maybe this isn't a good idea. And then I said, YOLO. Ooh. You know, that was honestly me. And, I took my hit. He's like, if you don't want to be fucked up, don't inhale too much. Just let it out. I said, okay. He said the effects are instant. So I inhaled, let it out. It didn't. And I was just like, I don't I don't feel much. He's like, the effects should be instant. I'm like, I don't feel shit. So the second one I took, I inhaled, and I inhaled I mean, like, I took off at least that much of the fucking blunt. I mean, I took a lot in, and I inhaled it, and I kept it in, and I remember after a while it started to, like, somewhat burn, so I let it out. And John and Alex, had to leave, and they're like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta get back. I was like, alright. And me and Tony had to walk back. So we walked back, and I wasn't feeling much yet. Like, it's almost like you're in the state of mind where you feel normal, but you feel like there's something like slightly off. and you just can't pin it. Like there was some like I felt fine in my head. I was fine. Realistically, there was like something different, like almost like something was off. And we were like, "What the fuck is going on?" So I just kept walking. I got started to get a body high, not major, like a slight body high, where just you felt more comfortable. I was just like, "All right, this feels good." And then I started getting giggly, like almost like I had a tickle in my throat that made me laugh. It's like everything was hysterical. I mean, everything was fucking funny. Like you could say, "Oh my god, I just like my water just broke and I'm giving birth," and I would fucking die of laughter. Like I couldn't hold a serious face. And my girlfriend figured that out because when I got back, I was dying of laughter, and she was like, "What the fuck, Anthony?" I was so. At this time, I was like, "Oh shit! Look at the time. Oh, I gotta get back." And I was laughing. I was like, "Oh, I gotta get the fuck back home. What? You know?" And then we were like, "Okay, I gotta get home." My friend Nick was with me. We are like, "We gotta get the fuck out of here." And he's like, "All right, I'll drive you home." And we were driving home. And I remember driving, and I was in the back seat, and I was like, Nick was here in the front, and Tony was here, and I was in the middle, and I was just looking through at the road ahead. It was pitch black out. The headlights lit up the road and all the little highlights in the road. And I was just looking, and I was like, I wasn't on fucking Earth. I mean, like there was something off. It's almost like getting a head high, but not getting a head high. It's like half of a head high, but you don't feel lightweight. You don't feel as light. You just feel like things are moving faster than what they are. Way faster. And I got home. We pulled up to my house, and I kissed my friend Tony. I was pretty fucked up. Actually, I kissed him on the cheek. I was like, "All right, bye." I don't do that. So me and my girlfriend got out. My girlfriend was staying the night, so I'm like, "All right, let's go." I got in my house, and I tried to play it off as fucking cool as I possibly could because my whole family's in the living room that night. I was like, "Oh shit, okay." So I played it off as cool as I possibly could. I was like, "Okay, what's up, guys? Hi." I tried playing off like I still remember the night completely. I was so messed up. And, they can't tell because K doesn't make your eyes red like weed does. I was just like, "Oh, I was fine. I'm fine. How's the day?" I was like, "Oh, I had fun." I went in my room. Here's where things start to get really fucking bad. Now he said that usually the effects of K2 does actually only wear off in about 30 minutes or less because they really don't last long, and it gets you high really quick and it wears off really quick. But when I did it, it it kicked in 15 minutes and it lasted an hour. It was my first time, and I remember I was laying down right here. I was I was sitting on the floor, and my girlfriend was laying down. And things started to get very euphoric. And if you don't know the word euphoric, it's when things aren't moving. Like you visually picture things shifting in time. Like things are like drifting side to side or moving, but they're not moving. It's just your state of mind where you think they're moving. It's like almost like things are shaking and rumbling. It's really fucking creepy. And I started to hallucinate. Not like hallucinate like there's a fucking Siamese cat, like rainbow cat on my wall. Like not like hallucinate. Like I wasn't on acid or anything. I was fucking it was like real time hallucinations. Everything I could see, I wasn't hallucinating it, but everything that I saw was just moving to me. I remember sitting on my floor, my girlfriend's here, and I looked at my curtains. These curtains right there were fucking melting. I mean, like, these curtains were, like, wavy, and they were waving up. They're almost like an ocean, like, waving up. And then out of nowhere, they just started to fucking, like, drizzle, and then just melt. I mean, like, completely melt. And I was just, like, tripping bad. I was like, "Oh my fucking Christ." And I started laying down. I was like, "Oh my God." And every time I closed my eyes, it felt like I was fucking spinning around very fast. I mean, it got me so fucking sick. And I was sitting there. I still remember I was sitting there. I was like in so much fucking pain because I was so sick. I felt so nauseous. I felt like I was gonna fucking throw up everywhere, and I held it in. I did have to throw up, and trust me, I could have, but I held it in, and I would remember laying there. I was just like, oh God, please let it, please let it end. And about 20 minutes after that, it ended, and I was still really nauseous. I had to eat I had to eat bread and just a lot of soda and everything to help cool me down, and it was bad. I was sweating bad. Like it was probably the worst trip I've ever had. Um, it was, it's not good. If you ever plan on trying K2, I really would not recommend it at all. For starters, it's 3 times worse than, it's fucking terrible for you. I mean, beyond means, it's terrible for your fucking heart. It's terrible for your lungs. Number two, if you're gonna smoke something to get you high, like marijuana, smoke marijuana. Why the fuck are you smoking something? Because it's cheaper. Because you can get, a bag this fucking much for, what, $20 of K2 when a bag that much of bud is like fucking 40. You see what I mean? Like, it's cheaper and it's easier and you can get it anywhere. But if you ever plan on trying K, I really wouldn't. It's so bad. It's very bad. It's just really addictive. I had the need to do it again, but I didn't because it's terrible for you. It's very addicting, and it's fucking terrible. I would not recommend doing it. Unless you're into all these different kind of drugs, you just want to do everything, then all the power to you. But my recommendation is I would never do that again. No. It's fucking terrible. It's not worth the money. It really isn't. But that's my K trip. It's fucking terrible. I would never do it again. So that's my K trip. So rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.